But I love the source of the poet. I really do. I think that nourishes me, and I think that's what actually propels me to continue to want to write. I fell out of a starry night and landed here. On this good earth I was all alone, yet I knew no fear. Just a voice in the darkness, just a grain of sand. This beating heart, here to play my part in this brave new land. Then I came to a river where the black water flows, a place to begin, and when I waded in, I knew I was home. I knew I was home then, I'd been there before. I was born in the spring where the bluebird sings by the black river shore. Sunlight on the water like a diamond shines, and through the leaves of fall I heard the autumn call, and I began to cry. Were they the tears of heartache, or were they tears of joy? Oh, I couldn't quite tell, but I could see myself as a little boy. Could this be real, or is it a dream? I'm wondering why I can't believe my eyes. Am I too blind to see? It's one thing after another. First you're young, then you're old. There's not much that I need, just a few good deeds, if the truth be told. If the truth be told now, I'd get on my knees. I would end this race in a state of grace, like one who believes. I could love you better, I could say a prayer. We could stop all the talk and take a walk in the cool night air. There's a full moon rising above the ancient stones. I'll never give in to the restless wind until the cows come home. Till the cows come home, love, I'm gonna walk this floor. I'm gonna love you forever, and one day more. One day more, love, one day more. I'm gonna love you forever, and one day more. One day more, love, one day more. I'm gonna love you forever, and one day more.
Thanks so much for coming, David.
I'm happy to be here, Kevin.
All right, so today we're talking about being an independent artist, which you have been a groundbreaker and you're still breaking ground today.
Yeah, we stuck with it. We really did. I don't know any other path but the independent artist. Reilly and Maloney, which has been my group for all these years, never had a contract with a major label. We were yearning for it at times, but decided we'd just keep working and keep, borrow money from family and start making records. And that's how we started that recording process.
And that's amazing because you got nominated for Grammys and Bammys and everyone knows who you are. You're one of the top folk acts.
Are we?
How in the world did you spread your word back in the 60s and 70s when there wasn't an internet?
Well, I've thought about that a little bit in these years, and there was something about the two of us. We were people that both could sing in tune. That was important. I was a little more sophisticated guitar player than Ginny at the time, but we really were eager to learn. And there was something about us. We were both redheads, and on stage, people really liked us.
Yeah.
There were people that were much more advanced in the craft at the time, but there's something about that, and they love harmonies. People love harmony, and that's really why we got together. A fellow said, both of you are strong-looking young single acts, but people love harmonies. You get more work together, and that's why we decided to start off and
well, your voices are such a beautiful mix. You braid so well together.
Well, they are, and I think almost when I listen to some of the stuff now, even though we're not related, of course, and not even related romantically, never were. We've always been independent that way. But our voices are almost like brother and sister.
Yeah.
They really are. Even though people think Jenny has this high sort of feel, and she does have a wonderful, clear, magnetic. People have really always been drawn to her sound and her voice. But my baritone tenor has really been a nice offset to that, so it really works.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful sound.
Thank you.
But you can have a really great act like that, and unless you get people listening to it,
right?
You're singing in your living room. So how did you sell yourself?
And now I'm back singing in my living room.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think it was really just a matter of committing to the work. Mm-hmm. Every time someone came to us and said, "Boy, we really love you guys. Would you come and play at our place? Would you come and play at our restaurant? Would you play at our lounge?" And we did that circuit for a while. But interestingly enough, we sort of moved out of that because we were interested in having people listen to the songs that we were choosing and then songs we began to write. And people in that business want people to drink and have a high old time.
Oh, yeah.
So we were happy to get past that, but it took quite a few years.
Yeah, the whole coffee house scene where people are sitting raptly listening to every word you're singing, it just isn't as much as some of us wish it was.
Yeah, right. Well, that actually is an atmosphere that is much more comfortable than the old lounges were. Mm-hmm. And we realized we never wanted to be a lounge act, and so even though that was where the money was, because that's the people that could afford to pay you at least to make a living.
Yeah. Booze.
So I guess I would say
coffee.
work. Yeah, I would say, I guess, Kevin, that it was a matter of committing to the work. I mean, we were going up to Tahoe and playing 4 nights there right away as soon as we got together in January 1970. Coming down, a guy said, "You got to play in my place in Palo Alto." We did 7 nights a week. I would say probably for 3 months, and running the old van up the mountain and back down.
Holy cow!
So we were committed, and then. What happened was, the Great American Music Hall owners loved our sound, and they started putting us to open with these acts that were national acts: Earl Scruggs, Sonny Terry, Brownie McGee, David Bromberg, whatever it would be.
Judy Collins,
Judy Collins we worked with. But then, of course, because we began to get very popular and got really strong reviews locally, Phil Elwood gave us the greatest review we ever had as a young act. And then we had our own nights there, of course, and played 2 or 3 times a year at the Great American.
Yeah.
And so, it built that way.
And the record sales, because you've sold a ton of albums, how did you spread the records around, self-produced records in a day before internet again?
Will Ackerman with Windham Hill had his record under his arm, and I had the Reilly and Maloney record, called At Last, in 1976. And we were going to the same stores, and the gramophone and the little stores in San Francisco, trying to get them to put them in a bin for us, you see, at the time. Of course, they went crazy, and we did well, too. And then we got distribution, but we got airplay. We got airplay in Seattle, and that's where it really got us started. There were a couple of stations there that were very popular with the upwardly mobile young people, and they would play us a lot. And that's our biggest market still today.
You still get, still get played.
Yeah.
Now today, You're great on YouTube. I mean, tell me, because one of the ways well, the main way a lot of young bands publicize themselves is through social media and through YouTube. And I was clicking a while back, but I was clicking around on YouTube, and there you are.
Right.
With new songs, with actually great new songs.
Thank you.
But tell me about the thinking about that, because you're not 25, but you're doing the new tech thing.
Well, you know, it's been a great blessing, truthfully, because the people you can reach, not only relatives, but
yes.
but all the people that have seen you through the long time that we've been together. The longevity has been a wonderful thing for us to be committed so long to each other. And then, of course, my solo writing and my solo work has also had its own day. And that becomes more important to me and more motivating. And people are really, that love my writing and want to hear the latest things I'm doing, they just tune in, and it's a great conduit.
Yeah, you just wrote a beautiful love song that I saw pop up on YouTube.
Thank you. I got a long line of those.
Oh, well, yeah, you're very good at that. And so what kind of rig are you using when you're taping yourself?
It's a funny, a dining room chair with a little spider holder for my Android smartphone, and try to put a light up if I can. My buddy says, you got to put better lighting. You have my actor buddy up in Sonora says, you got to do better lighting, Malone. Come on, you can do. So I put up, I'm trying to do that, but I figure the song is a thing. So I just click it and sit back in the chair and pick it out.
The sound quality is pretty good.
Yeah, you can't beat that. The phones today are just incredible. High definition, the whole deal.
So what advice would you give, as a guy who's been doing this for 40 odd years, what advice do you give to young performers about getting their word out there, getting their act
Well,
out?
the avenues are different today. In the day that we started, you really did have to go to the clubs and talk your way in, play open mics, that kind of thing. And I guess that's still true today. Yeah. But there's so much available, as you say, in social media, if you've got something that is worthwhile and it might be nourishing to the listener, you certainly can get it on there. And I think that's the way to go. Songwriting contests, even though I've been asked to judge them and have done that, and it was a regular at Kerrville for a number of years, where the songwriters, Kerrville, Texas, that festival is a songwriters festival, and that certainly is important. But I never was wild about contests.
The whole concept has always struck me as pretty strange, saying one song is better than another.
Exactly.
Because at a certain level of songwriting, they're all really, really good. How are you going to say one's better than the other?
I never forgot. I was doing one at the Sweetwater years ago, a number of years ago, and one woman had a song about her grandmother called Wisconsin Green, and another fellow came up from Florida and wrote a song called Polar Bear about snow in Florida. Yeah. Now, how are you going to compare those two songs?
Right.
One's a rock and roll blues and the other's a ballad. So I never was, and I'm not also wild about co-writing, if you want to know the truth. Yeah. I think that they're very well put together when you write with another person, but I love the source of the poet. I really do. I think that nourishes me, and I think that's what actually propels me to continue to want to write.
Did you feel at some point in your career that you had reached a stasis where the word of mouth was propelling you?
I think we did, probably, yeah. I think people said, hey, you got to hear these guys, or people would come to our shows and come backstage afterwards and say hello. And we've seen many of your shows when we brought our friends here tonight. We knew they'd love you, that kind of thing. So that certainly is part of the community of music that we are, the genre that we exist in. There's word that goes out, and you send out promo and you send out a record. In those days, LPs. Yeah. I used to take boxes of LPs and bribe the sky caps at the airport. With 5 boxes of LPs. You put these under for me. It's a lot easier today.
And you did the thing of going to the radio stations?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. And you know what? The people that are levels above Reilly and Maloney and above myself in terms of national recognition, they still do the same thing. Yeah. Paxton will get up at 5 in the morning to go do an interview, in Corvallis, Oregon. Because you have to. I mean, it's what you've chosen. It's your work, and that's how I feel. And the writing is nourishing to the heart and soul of the writer too. You know that as a writer yourself, Kevin, I'm sure. You can't not do it.
No, you can't not do it. And if you're doing it for a paycheck, then you're not going to be doing it.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah, because it wears you out. It's too draining. That's the thing. Promoting yourself as an independent artist, it's too draining to do unless you really, really love it.
And Kevin, we talk about the independent artist, which is all I've ever been. You have to do all the booking, all the calling, all of the promo. You have to actually do the negotiating, which is not easy. So all of that gets a little tiring as one gets older. But then again, you get the enjoyment of and the joy of people that really have been moved and nourished by your music through all the years of their lives, and they write us about their children. Their children come to hear us because they're the records mom and dad played.
Oh yeah.
So it's been rewarding.
Yeah, and and that's a whole different skill, too, because what you really want to do is just play your music and have that relationship with the audience. But then having to also sell yourself like a set of shoes is something that you didn't.
Got to meet your people. Got to meet your people at the merch table.
Yeah, that's true.
And sign the records. I don't know why they want these autographs, but they still line up for autographs.
So it's like a double commitment.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
it is. But I mean, it's a lot better than selling lawn furniture at Sears.
Absolutely. Like anything in life, you got to do stuff.
Yeah.
Got to do stuff whether you like it or not.
That's right. Follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell would tell us.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what's your favorite part of the promotion part that you have to do?
The promotion part?
Yeah, the promotion
I don't think there is a favorite part.
Yeah, I figure you love I know you love the music, but what's the best part when you have to go, flog yourself?
Well, it's always nice to be wanted and have someone come, say, when Sam Hawk gave me a call and said, come on down for Artist Connection. I said, I'll be there. And Kevin Fagan, I said, I can't wait to meet him. I've read him for years. So, it's the best part is the people.
You still have a youthful fountain of inquisitiveness and energy going on.
Thank you.
And I love that about your music, too.
Thanks, Kevin.
Well, thanks very much for being here today. I appreciate it. It's been really fun talking to you.
I'm delighted. Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Thanks, David.
I'm moving to Mars. Yeah, I think I'd like to try me out a life in the stars. My friends all say I need a place to air out my heart, so I'm moving to Mars. This life has been crazy. Sometimes I think I'm not really here. Every time I turn